take another.
Continue to be aggressive, find a rhythm, understanding, trying to take what the defense is giving. And then once I'm in the rhythm, obviously, I'm able to have some success. Teammates setting good screens, finding me in good spots, and, just being able to step up and knock down shots and give us that boost offensively that we've been needing. So got to do it again.
People, especially veterans, know the urgency of the playoffs, and, it gets monotonous at times through a regular season. And so, sometimes pace themselves, save themselves for the right moment. And obviously Fred came out not shooting his best, and he's had some really good stretches lately. And so he knows what it is. He's been a champion, been there, done that. And so wouldn't expect anything less than that from him.
It's beating the Warriors 115-107. That's 2 in a row now. And the series is tied and will force a Game 7 on Sunday. First of all, the Rockets dominated Game 5. I mean, it was a no-show from the Warriors, I thought, and a dominant performance, a tough performance from the Rockets. And then you get Game 6 and you say, okay, it's going to be completely different. It was only different in terms of magnitude. It wasn't a 40-point, 30-point lead, but it's still, they controlled the game. They dominated it. So, Mark, this is 2 games in a row. Are you surprised by what you've seen in the bounce back from this Rockets team?
Yeah, I had this thing ending tonight, to be honest with you. And I think most people around the league thought when the Dubs went up 3-1. Coming into this series, I looked at this as the young Houston Rockets are going to playoffs university. And man, they have graduated to the master's program real quick because they showed ridiculous poise last night. And everybody's talking about Steven Adams and how his entree has changed it and the double bigs and all that stuff. But Fred VanVleet has been tremendous. And there's been so much talk about he makes so much money. The Rockets have to upgrade there. They can't have, he has played the veteran role on this team so well. And these last 3 games, shout out to the researcher extraordinaire, my pal in Toronto, Karthika Uthaya-Kumar. She dug this one up. 17 threes for Fred VanVleet in the last 3 games. No Rocket has ever made more in a 3-game playoff stretch. And if Freddie's making threes, they can keep more of the non-shooters on the floor who are causing Golden State problems because the Warriors are small. It's like the Lakers all over again. They are super small. But no, I'm guilty. I thought their experience would offset that in this series. And now they got to go back to Houston on a short turnaround. Look, I'm not saying they can't win in Houston. This series has been a roller coaster. So if the Warriors turn around now and win a Game 7, you wouldn't be shocked out of your chair.
Right.
But it ain't a fun assignment for the older team to have to now turn around and go win there. The Rockets are clearly feeling themselves because they heard all the talk. They knew everybody. It's not just me. Did your legs think that Houston was forcing a Game 7 when they went down 3-1? I didn't hear a lot of people. Proclaiming that chain of events.
Yeah, 100%. I don't even know if they're using the doubt. They're a young enough team. I don't know how much the doubt should fuel them. They're young. This is the first time being there. But to your point, this is the last one and the one we just watched, they're such great team wins because you're right. Fred VanVleet was incredible. Cool as a cucumber. By the way, 8 rebounds and 8 assists, filled up the entire stat sheet. Amen Thompson was incredible. His defense, Dylan Brooks, Alperen Şengün has been incredible in this series, 21, 14, 6, and 3, and just dominated his individual matchups on both ends, by the way. Not known for, necessarily being this elite defender, but his defense has been phenomenal. And then I love that you brought it up, Steven Adams. Let's look at this. Cavs, double big lineup. They're moving on. Wolves, double big lineup. They're moving on. OKC, double big lineup. They're moving on. And now you've got Houston, who is on the doorstep of, it's kind of the new thing, these 2 bigs. And I have to give Ime Udoka a ton of credit because I don't know how many coaches in the NBA would have tried this, in the regular season, the way that they did. And I don't know how many people would have identified and said, this is it. 2 traditional centers, not a stretch 4 or this or that. 2 true bigs. Let's put them together and let's just bully everyone. But honestly, that's the story of the series. The Warriors don't have an answer for the size when you put both of those guys on the court, and they're playing defense well enough to make up for it on the other end.
Yeah, I put the Warriors really in a similar category to the Lakers that, again, I think it's not just me that's making I keep repeating that because it's making me feel better having missed forecast this thing, is that I think a lot of us on the outside thought, okay, Lakers, Warriors, they have all this experience. They have guys who've gone so far in the playoffs. They'll overcome their team's lack of size. I was in LA when Rudy Gobert turned into Moses Malone in Game 5 and sent the Lakers home. And yes, now, I mean, the Warriors, they're small, they're super small. They're getting bullied by the Houston Bigs, and there's a lot of guys out there who did not want to shoot the ball tonight. I mean, that looked reluctant to go. Stephen Curry cannot do this by himself. I just can't believe also how flat Golden State looked. They just like this was their chance to finish this thing at home. I mean, it's got to be hugely deflating for them to know they had this chance to finish the series off. They already had to play one game without Butler in the series. Like, don't give this Houston team life. And yeah, Sunday night is going to be, I mean, it's going to be wild. 2 games, we got Game 7s now, Saturday and Sunday. And it's been a first round with a lot of blowouts, but it's also been a first round with a lot of good games. And I'm sure you've been giddy.
Well, I'm giddy, except for the other Game 7 has me a little bit nervous, as you know. But but Golden State, man,
I saw your guys last night too. In my I did an LA back-to-back. So
were you there at the game for that one?
I was. That was my Intuit Dome debut.
All right. Well, just to wrap up, because I'm going to ask you about that here in a second. But just to wrap up, the other thing, Steph Curry in the fourth quarter really kind of disappeared. And this series has been rough on him. He's had the breakout game. He had a monster game. I think it was Game 1. Was it? Yeah, I think Game 1. But since then, he's been bottled up. I know he had 29 points. He took 23 shots to get there as a -11. To me, Game 7 here, the Warriors have had their back against the wall a lot. They've responded a lot for the last decade plus. This one, to me, there's no momentum for Steph. And that's the part of this that I think, if you're a Warriors fan, feels a little uncomfortable, is it's not like it's been a game or two. This whole series has been, he hasn't made the impact we're used to.
Well, I don't want to write them off because I am a longtime Warriors believer. And again, I don't like the way this is set up for them. I mean, for them on a short turnaround now to go to Houston and have to win a Game 7 on the road. I mean, the Rockets have all the momentum. They're certainly going to be fresher with all the youth on their team. But I wrote Houston off after going down 3-1, and it didn't go so well for me. So it's like I'm to the point with this series that no outcome would surprise me anymore. But the big thing here is this has just been all season long. There, around the league, you heard the Rockets are going to make a big move. The Rockets are going to, they're going no. And the consistent messaging out of Houston was, we're not going to make an in-season move. We want to see what this team can do in the playoffs, just like Oklahoma City last season with that group. And no matter what happens, Houston taking this to 7, whether they win or lose, I mean, they'll be crushed now if they don't finish this thing off at home. But for their front office, the team builders for going forward, they are so well set up with all these assets to make a major move or two in the future. But they're getting their guys such valuable experience. So, I mean, in a lot of ways, the Rockets have already won this series. Now they got to finish it off, but like the complexion, their whole outlook going from 3-1 to 3-3. I mean, it is just, you have to feel just worlds better if you're the Rockets about your present and your future, because their guys have gained so much from this series.
Well, I like that point too, because there is something to how do young guys play in the playoffs. You want to see them get there. And if you look at it, I mean, Amen Thompson, phenomenal. Şengün, incredible. Jabari Smith has been great. I know that was maybe a question mark, but he's been great in these playoffs. Tari Eason's been great. So a lot of these guys are getting reps right now that if you want to pivot off of one of them, if that's the plan, and now let's consolidate and move forward, these guys are playoff tested, playoff proven in a way that I think is going to carry them quite a bit. So I love this Rockets team. I'm actually in love with them. I like the way they play. I like their toughness. I like when teams get weird and are willing to try to experiment with the game, and this double big lineup to me is an example of that. And I think they're going to win Game 7. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think the Warriors should have shown something in these last 2 games if they had it in them. I think the Rockets are going to win this one. And I think that'd be a really, really cool way for this to.
Chào các bạn nha. Mình sẽ đi tổ chức con mèo Moon nha. Mình sẽ tô màu xanh. Như vậy mình đã cài đặt Facebook rồi nha. Mình cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video của mình. Xin chào các bạn nha. Ngày nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn cách chắn đây là phải ấm mặt nha. Đây là mình sẽ làm các bạn.